Welcome back everyone, I'm Kate Plays Games, this is EVE Online, and welcome back to our crazy self-sufficiency challenge. Things last time went really well, right up until the moment when they went really, really badly. The things that went well is that we built a Mollusk, we fitted it out. It's not that much better than our Corvette, but it is better. And we tested it out in 0.5. We went to the Annie constellation. There was all kinds of weird stuff in Annie. Being a cosmos constellation, there were acceleration gates to combat sites in the middle of asteroid belts. In one of the asteroid belts in the system of Barkrick was a battleship and 3 frigates, so we skedaddled out of there before we aggressed him. So we went to Annie and everything was fine. Then we came home, and I was heading back to Annie to finish the last 2 systems on the list when this happened. I went through Orphée, and Orphée has one and only one mining belt. Walked to that mining belt. Lo and behold, there was a Guristas Diamond Stronghold fleet already spawned in the asteroid belt. And our brand new ship lasted approximately 4 seconds before being destroyed. It got absolutely one-shotted. And then, to add insult to injury, they killed my escape pod too, so we actually properly died. Of course, because the fleet was in the asteroid belt, we had no chance of going back to get the wreck, so that was a complete loss. That is about as harsh as losses in EVE Online come. But someone bought blueprints and someone's been stockpiling minerals, so lo and behold, we are now back exactly where we were. Well, not quite exactly. The one thing we're missing is a low power slot, because we just threw on a magnetic field stabilizer that we looted from a refuge. So we're doing without that. That has lowered our DPS by 4 DPS, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Skills wise, we did mass production rank 1, just so we could build more than one thing at a time, so we were able to rebuild all the parts of that ship nice and quick. And we also completed acceleration control level 1, which gives us an extra 5% boost to our maximum velocity bonus from afterburners and micro warp drives. So now we're going 974.5 meters a second. So we did these 2 skills, and then we went right back to jury rigging, because we need to get jury rigging rank 3 so we can get drones rigging rank 1, so we can build this small drone control range augmenter so our drones can fly further away from our ship. At the moment they only go 30. When we add that, that will be 45, which is lovely, and there's 2 more ranks of drone avionics available. That'll add another 10, so they're 30 just now. The rig will be 45, and then when we do these skills it'll be 55. So anyway, let's undock and get back out in the belts, shall we? And I'm going to make a complaint, because when we see agency, encounters, pirate strongholds, this is not the one that killed us. That is in Act T, and to get to Act T you have to go 5 jumps away into low sec. So we change this, show us all the pirate strongholds within 10 jumps at any security status, and it keeps just showing Act T. This is the system we died in. As you can see, it is 4 jumps away. Act T is 5 jumps away and in a different region. Orphée is only 4 jumps away and in the same region. Why is it not showing here? Don't know. Keep an eye on this as we warp around. You will see some very strange things happening with this. Okay, we're in a new system. This is updated again. And now another one has shown up. 2 pirate strongholds. This one's 4 jumps away. This one's 5 jumps away, but in a Triglavian system. But Orphée, the one where we died and has a stronghold, is only 3 jumps away. So let's continue travelling.
Warp drive active.
And 1 jump later, the other one has disappeared now. So the Act T one is still showing up. The one that's beyond Act T isn't showing at all. Even if I uncheck show Triglavian minor victory systems. So there was 1, then there was 2, and now there's back to 1.
Warp drive active.
Let's go 1 more jump towards our destination. And the Pirate Strongholds card has disappeared entirely now. It's saying unavailable. I can't find any Pirate Strongholds. Okay, but I think you'll find
Warp drive
when we
active.
go 1 more jump into Orphée itself, we'll get a nasty surprise. So it was saying Act T, then Act T, Amani, and then only Act T, and now nothing. Oh no, there's a pirate stronghold in your current system. How does this work? I don't know. We saw Acti, Andamani, then only Acti, and then nothing, and then this, but it only shows you it's here when you're actually in the system. I have no idea how this interface is supposed to work, but it clearly doesn't work at all. And as I said before, there is no warning when you're jumping into a system that there is a pirate stronghold in the system. There is, if you go to a Triglavian or an Edencom system, there will be a pop-up just before you hit the gate that will say, warning, Triglavian or Edencom forces are here, do you want to take the gate? And the same when you jump into 0.4 or any lower, you get a warning about lowsec, and in lowsec, again, there's a warning if you go to 00. It just says, the rules have changed, you're in more danger, do you want to take the gate? None of that happens with strongholds. And as we've just seen, this interface is just complete bullshit. It just doesn't work. So the only thing you can do is to have this window open and manually check every single time you go into a system. And this stupid window cannot be resized or nested into anything else. So you've just got to have this giant window open as you jump. It is absolute bloody nonsense. I mean, I love EVE Online. I've been playing it for 16 years, but stuff like this really annoys me. And oh look, we're one jump away from where there was a pirate stronghold, and now the pirate stronghold is saying, nope, can't find any strongholds within range. Even though when we undocked at home, it was saying, hey, you better watch out, there's one pirate stronghold 5 jumps away. So I have got no bloody idea how that's supposed to work. Anyway, we've checked there's no pirate stronghold in this system.
Drive active.
So let's take out our frustrations on the NPCs that live in the belts. Right, no one here. So I'll get back on the grind and present you with another montage, and then eventually we'll end up at the end of Annie. after a trip over to Annie, we didn't actually get far into Annie. I think we did the first 3 belts of the first system at Annie, Nakugard, because we found 2 of these damn things. I say damn things, but these things are awesome. We found 2 of those and that filled up our inventory, so we came back. Both of them have got like 18,000 pyrite each and 30,000 tritanium and thousands of this and hundreds of that and all that good stuff. We did, however, find out that in Annie, you do indeed get commanders. If you mouse over this latest bounty prize, this Psycho Ruffian, usually that would be called a Domination Angel. But as we know, in Annie, it's a Cosmos constellation, so all the names of all the NPCs have been changed. Psycho Ruffian is a commander. I had no idea. I wasn't even looking at his bounty payment. But he dropped faction ammunition and a faction tag. So he was definitely a commander. And the fact that his wreck was tagged as small commander wreck in the overview was a bit of a giveaway as well. But thanks to them, we made a whole load of money. And then I spent quite a bit of money. I spent that on hybrid weapon rigging, which is now in the skill queue. So the skill queue is jury rigging 3, drones rigging 1, hybrid weapon 1, hybrid weapon 2, drones 4, hybrid weapon rigging 3. Because we know we need to get hybrid weapon rigging up as high as we can to reduce the extra power grid need down to 6% from 10%, and hope that's enough to make our fit. And we also bought the small hybrid locus coordinator, which is the rig we wanted. And I also bought a magnetic field stabilizer 1 blueprint. I was hoping to save up for the drone damage amplifier, considering we're going to end up with more drones and we have guns. But this was cheap. This was only 250. So I bought that. So next time we get 500,000, I will buy the drone damage amplifier. And that's the last thing with the arrow next to it. So that's the last thing I had on the buy these first list. The next one will be a grind up to 1.5 million to get the micro auxiliary power core. So until then, let's make one of these. How long is that going to take? 13 minutes? I can wait 13 minutes. There we go. We'll just do one of them. Just so we can fit that on our ship. Now, the interesting thing to note with this current fit is that it's so cap stable that we can take off one of the cap mods. And then it will still be fine. So let's see how many mag stabs we can fit. Because as we know, hybrid weapons use capacitor and ammo. It's not very much cap, but it is cap. So if we put one of these on, it now becomes non-stable unless we put this back on. But I think we can get away with, just one cap recharger. The problem you then have is that most things you're going to put in this empty mid slot will consume cap. Well, it looks like the omnidirectional tracking link would work, except that we don't have the skills for it. Because we need drones 5, which is 10 days away, so that ain't happening. That's really good. That's a tracking computer that helps the tracking speed and optimal range of your drones. So I can't think of anything that could go on that slot that would help us as an armor tank. I mean, everything else is like shield extenders, just to extend the hit points of the shield. But that would mean converting the tank over to being a passive shield tank. And we haven't got any shield skills. So let's filter it by mid-slot, filter it for the skills we have, and filter it by the remaining power grid and CPU available on this ship. What is this? Weapon upgrades. Tracking computer. If we could find an enduring tracking computer, that would work. But we haven't found any of those yet. We haven't even found any kind of tracking computer, so that's annoying. Tracking computer 1 would fit, and we've got the skills for it, but it makes the cap not stable. So not do that. Electronic warfare. Don't need any of that. We've already got one web. Could we get away with another web? Looks like we could do 2 enduring webs. Do we have 2 enduring webs? No, we've got one. We've got one enduring web, which is already on the ship. And the only other one we have is a compact, and that makes it not stable anymore, which is annoying. Oh, that's annoying. So next time we find an enduring web, we can double web it. And that will slow them way down, and that will let us hit them really hard. There's not much point fitting a sensor booster because we target long enough and fast enough already. Engineering equipment, not worth it because that's what we've just taken off. Don't need a second one of them. Don't need any scanning equipment. So yeah, there's really nothing we can do. So we might as well just leave the other cap recharger on. Having more cap is never a bad thing. Some of the systems we've been traversing have been really quite long, so that can affect the stability of your capacitor. I did not reprocess these because these damn things need a lot of money to reprocess. 192,000 ISK to reprocess these, so they will just be staying in cargo until we need them. Because we have 350,000 titanium, 130,000 pyrite. We've even got 149 megasite, and that's like the rarest thing. So we don't need to reprocess pretty much anything for a little while. And then the problem becomes, how do we separate the loot we want to keep that we might use, which is all this stuff? I've just been melting down everything else. I would quite like to have some kind of container that we can put all the other loot in. Problem is that these containers cost quite a bit. That would be a structure, deployable structure, I believe, cargo containers. The biggest ones you get are giant secure containers. Okay, how about the station containers? How much are they? Station warehouse, 10 million ISK, 1.8 and 180,000. That's not bad. We can maybe buy a station container blueprint at some point. And we need Industry 4. Can we do Industry 4? Where are we? Production. Industry 4, we can, but it will take us 2 days. Don't think it's worth it. What I would rather do in that case is save up. If we're going to spend like a couple of million, we might as well just buy a Nereus blueprint. And this is the Nereus hauler. And this has a big old cargo hold, like 3,500 or something like that. And we can just put all the loot in that and use that like a mobile storage thing. I'm going to buy one of these anyway. That's why it's on the shopping list, because we're going to want to move our stuff around at some point. So for the moment, we're going to wait until this magnetic field stabilizer is done, and then we'll head back out to Annie again. Well, that was fun. We've found another commander, and he dropped the compact magnetic field stabilizer that we got destroyed by the Gurustas. So that means we didn't need to build that, but that's fine, because it's good to have blueprints. And he also dropped a Daredevil blueprint. And this will make a Daredevil frigate, which looks like this. We know that model, we've been fighting them in Minmatar space. It's a really good ship. 10% bonus to small hybrid turret fall off, 10% bonus to stasis webifier effectiveness, so it's good at slowing things down a lot. Roll bonus, 200% bonus does not mean double damage, it means triple damage. 100% bonus would be double damage. So this does triple damage with its turrets. It's a brutal ship. It only fits 2 turrets, but you're multiplying their effectiveness by 3. So it effectively has 6 turrets. It's really, really strong. But unfortunately for us, you might think, yeah, you only need these minerals. Yeah, but scroll down, buddy. All this stuff down here is not found as loot. This has to be built. And it's built from all this stuff here, and all this stuff here is reactions and gas and moon mining and stuff we're not going to do. So unfortunately, we're not going to build that. We can't build it because we ain't going mining. Especially because to mine the ice, we'd need to be Omega. So there's 2 reasons we're not going to do it. The rules of the challenge say no, and our clone status also says no. It's a nice item to find, but I would rather have found a faction weapon. Like a 150mm railgun would have been nice, but you know, I'll take what I can get. Alright, I believe that was another commander. So the differently named NPCs, because Algental constellation is another Cosmos constellation, this time Galente. That's why everyone's called Crook and not Serpentis. Turns out the commander is called a Marauder Safeguard. Let's have a look at what he's dropped for us, shall we? Gotta be quick and pick this up before someone else comes in and steals it. And what have we got? Absolute trash. Oh well. Can't win them all. At least he will have provided a decent amount of bounty. Alright, once again, we never actually made it to Annie. I mean, Annie is okay, but we didn't make it there. We filled up our cargo, and we finally got enough money to purchase this Drone Damage Amplifier 1 blueprint. So when I go home, 15 minutes after that, we will have our Drone Damage Amplifier 1, which is going to increase the damage of all of our drones by 15%, which is absolutely lovely, considering we're just about to open the fourth and final drone. Jury rigging is nearly done, drones rigging 1 and hybrid weapon rigging 1 nearly done. Then we'll do hybrid weapon rigging 2, drones 4, hybrid weapon rigging 3, and then we'll make plans with what to do with our skills after that. But the fit is coming together, the dream fit. The next thing on the shopping list that we need is this Micro Auxiliary Power Core 1 blueprint, and that is 1.5 million. But when we come back, we will have the longer range drones and a longer range gun, so hopefully that will allow us to actually attempt and run refuges. And as we know from the one refuge that we managed to survive, refuges bring in about 200 grand each, which is phenomenal, because we've been getting around 150,000, 200,000 per system, like running 10 or 12 belts in a system. If we have a look at our wallet, here's 73, 86, 235, 258, 151, 142, 151. That's pretty much an entire system worth of sites. 147. I mean, it is nice that we're getting triple digits, but we can be getting triple digits all the time. And in fact, we'll be getting like 235 from a single refuge. So that's the kind of income that this enhanced fit is all about. So I'm going to go home and build this and stick it on the ship. I'll see you when that's been done. Alright, that has been done. 1 drone damage amplifier, so we can take off our compact magnetic field stabilizer and fit the drone damage amplifier. Now it hasn't changed our DPS all that much just yet, but it will. When we get the fourth drone, obviously that's going to amplify that drone as well. Except at the moment, we can only use 3 drones. So the guns are doing 17.5, the drones are doing 30. Obviously when we get one more drone, that's going to put the drones up by another 10, so that's going to go up to 40. So that is pretty good going. Not too bad. One other thing I forgot to mention is that one of the commanders dropped a 150mm railgun, which is awesome. It's only a meter level 2, so it's not the best, but it is better than ones we can make ourselves, which would be meter level effectively 0. So that'll do a little bit more damage than the one we're going to make. So I'm going to put that in cargo just to keep it nice and safe. So the fit is coming along nicely. We have spent an awful lot of money, but we have reduced the shopping list by an awful lot. We have been buying many skill books and many blueprints. We're pretty much on the home straight for getting this fit as we want it. The next big task is to get Micro Auxiliary Power Core Unit blueprint, and that is 1.5 million, but that's not going to be a big problem. I'm sure we'll be able to do that in no time at all. So come back and see how we get on with our brand new frigate again, whether or not I can get it destroyed again in a refuge. But anyway, until then, do look after yourself, and I'll speak to you again very soon.